So, first of all, most dashboards we know that they fail not because the data is wrong, but because nobody knows what to do. And here we are. So in the next few minutes, we are going to go through the 5 principles. Just a moment. So we are going to go through the 5 principles on how you have to manage your design. Like I said before we dropped off, I think, that however much you have done all the dirty and the heavy and the difficult work we have been doing, you have sourced the data from wherever it is, you have transformed it, you have loaded it into your data models, you have done the data analytics expressions, you have done the planning of the design of all your pages and the dashboard itself. Now, the last thing is how you put these visuals together matters a lot. So, the first one is keep it simple. So the mistake here is almost everyone makes we think a busy dashboard looks more valuable. No, it's not. So you make sure that you add all the charts, you add all the filters, you add all the gauges, everything you think about, you add on the page. But the thing is, simplicity, making it simple, it is not laziness, it is clarity of purpose. That you're creating the clarity of what your data is trying to communicate. So before you add anything, ask one question. Does it help someone to make a decision? If no, don't put it. Cut it. Control X, cut it. So what are the do's? Make sure that you have not more than let me get a highlighter here. Yeah, here we go. So, oh, I need a red one. So make sure that you have 3 to 5 key numbers you're showing on your dashboard. Keep the white spaces. I remember telling you that these white spaces are so important, these you're saying in your dashboard. Make one message clear. Make a message clear. Make a star that every visual represents something. Then design so the point is obvious in 5 seconds. We have what we call a 5 second rule or a 5 second test. Whenever someone looks at your report, do they pick what you're trying to communicate in 5 seconds? If no, then redo it again. You yourself make a 5 second test. Open your report and look at it. Whether someone can pick something before you explain to them. If no, then you have to change a lot. So don't cram every chart on one screen. That's why you can even have more than one page if you're going to communicate a lot. Don't use 3D and gauges. I know people like using these 3Ds, but leave them for the news, for the bullet, for the magazines. But don't, even in the magazines, they no longer use them. Fill, don't fill every pixel just because it is empty. You have seen like a space has remained beside the heading. You say, okay, here, let me put there a pie chart. Okay, there is another space that has remained. I think this one I can put there bar charts. No, don't fill everything. Leave the white space for the eye to rest. Now, that is done. Let's go to the second one. The second one is show what matters. If anything doesn't give sense, please get it off your screen. So show what matters. So what are the do's on showing what matters? Focus on a few metrics that drive meaning. Show the metrics that change decisions. Put the most important numbers at the top left. So the number you should start with here at the top left. I think this thing is playing me. So the number you should start with here at the top left should be the number that is so important. As I said last time, that you start from the top going to the right. Well, then the size and the way how you place your visuals should be so important. That's why last time when we did our design, we started with scorecards on top. We went on another block that is going to show variances. We went on another block that is going to show details. That is the way how you should run your design, such that it is not cluttered everywhere. You don't squeeze in things. Here you have put a scorecard, you have brought a pie chart, now you've remembered another scorecard, you bring it. It may look nice in design, but it doesn't give any context in decision making. The don'ts. Don't show data just because you collected it. That's why even in transformation, I was very consistent on telling you that remove any column that is not going to be part of your analysis. The moment it is not, remove it. Give every chart the same size and weight. Don't make another chart very big, another one small, because maybe you have enough space. That's exactly what we did last time in planning our design. Lean on vanity metrics that look nice only. Don't bring in the metrics you feel like they look fancy, but people take long to understand. Then don't bury the one insight under 20 tiles. This means that when you have the insight you want the users to look at, let's say growth year on year, don't bury it behind more than 6 filters that someone has to filter to get the growth. No. So for every tile, finish the sentence, make sure that it is confined in one space. Design for the people, don't design for yourself. You know, the challenge we get always is when we reach to designing, we feel like we get so much touched. We get so much touched and we feel like we are designing for ourselves. Everything we put, we feel like it looks good for me. But if it doesn't look good for the audience, then don't do it. Build clear hierarchy and with size and contrast. Use familiar types of chart types people already know. Don't use a chart because it has come new on board. AI has given you a chart and you use it. Use the charts people can interpret. Then make it color safe and mobile friendly. That if someone opened your report on a mobile phone, will things snap and disappear? No. So you have to look into that. This applies also for presentations like this. So when you have a presentation like this, it should be very clear that someone looks at the presentation, like right now, you already see where the do and the don't is. Why? Because I've used the colors to their purpose. I've used red for its purpose. I've used green for its purpose. Just imagine that this side I used green and I'm telling you that they are the do's. And I used I used green here and I'm telling you it is the don't. That's confusion. So in data, you make sure that you get yourself relieved from that. So don't assume that everyone reads charts like you and an analyst. Don't rely on colors alone to carry the meaning. Like you see, we have made this a red, but still we have gone ahead to put a don't. And we have also gone ahead to put an X, such that three things are going to hit at once. You can't fail to take one and get the meaning. So that's what it means. Ignore small screens and low vision users. Use don't use exotic chart types that need a menu. Those are the charts I've been talking about. I'm going to show you those charts in Power BI. There are very many, but the moment you use it, just make sure that the users can understand it. So always when you finish creating your dashboard, you can always send it to yourself, even if there's a presentation in PowerPoint. Maybe you can put it in PDF and share it to yourself on WhatsApp. Open it on WhatsApp and you see how it opens. We all know that PowerPoint, when you share a PowerPoint on WhatsApp and someone opens it, the different shapes you have put on the PowerPoint snap and disappear. So it means that if I'm sharing that on WhatsApp, I have to put that into context that it is going to be the same. So you saving it as a PDF, then you share on WhatsApp is a good idea, right? So that's what they are talking about here. So when you share a report, make sure that if someone opened it when they're on the road, and that is the user I need maybe to make a decision, will they make a decision from what they see on their phone? If it is no, then change. If it is yes, perfect, then improve. Use color with purpose. I think I've already talked about this. Red is always for alerts, and it shows it calls for attention. Blue is always for trust, stability, and trends. We have seen how we use like blue to color bar charts, column charts, and all that. Then green for growth and positive change. Then gray for everything that is just context. That you have a pie chart, sorry, you have a bar graph or a column chart. It has 7 columns. You have colored the best green, you have colored the worst red, leave others gray, such that when the user looks at your chart, they only look at 2, the green and the red. If they want details, then they also look at the gray, but always make that contrast to have gray in your color grading. Here the pro tip is limit yourself to one accent color. Accent color is if you have chosen like a blue, use a dark blue, somehow a lighter blue like that. That's what they mean here. Such that the report becomes uniform. The don't use a full rainbow as a pure decoration. We always want things to look fancy, but you're killing the context. Change a color that don't change a color that let's say don't change a color between some of the charts. This chart you have, let's say you're showing categories, maybe the different branches. Branch A on one of the chart is green. When we go to another chart, branch A is blue. You go to a pie chart, branch A is represented as orange. Make sure that you limit yourself from that scandal. If you have taken that branch A is going to be blue throughout, make it blue throughout. Even though someone goes to page 6 and they look at blue, they know that this is branch A. So that is the consistency. Don't make red versus green your only signal. That's why we said here you bring in gray. So sometimes we pick colors depending on the color theme of the company. Now, the last one. Why we do data analysis? We do data analysis to tell a story. So a great dashboard has a beginning, a middle, and end. So we always start with what happened. Those are like scorecards at the top. Then in the middle you explore why. You give people now the top 5 products, the top 5 customers, the top 5 creditors, the top 5 debtors, the top 5. You're exploring the why you are having that revenue because of these top 5 products, why you have that profit at the top because of this. Then you drive people to the action to make a decision. That is at the bottom. You bring insights. This happened because of an increase from this to this in the month of this to this. Those are the insights that drive decisions. So what we have to make sure that we get rid of, don't dump charts with no order or narrative. Don't make people guess the takeaway themselves. What is the person taking away from your report? Don't make them guess. Let them come to your report. They have the takeaway at the end. Leave the viewer knowing the next step. The next step is they are going to close their laptops and they say, now what should we do? We want to grow. You buy more of this product than this because the data tells us this. Stop Don't stop at here is the data. Make sure that you walk the people through, walk your recipients, walk your viewers through your data step by step. And don't treat dashboards as a wall of numbers. You bring every number on that dashboard. I've seen some of the dashboards where you have nearly every number on one page. This is what we had come up with, the KPIs we have, and the major visuals we need. This is what we came up with, and we tailored this ourselves. We just used AI. It enhanced on what we needed to have, but this was all our making. So when you look at the white space that we had, all that was our own making. If you can look at the PowerPoint, this is what we came up with. We did this together. We put together where we need the scorecards, where we need the middle block here, where we need the middle block, where we need the navigation, then a few details at the bottom. We did this. We talked about the white spaces. Those are the principles we have just talked about. The way how you put together your page, that was it. And luckily enough, that is exactly what we got from AI. Then on top of that, we said, you can't go with this colorful. These colors are the ones we have talked about. Colors like this, they attract the attention of the viewers, and the viewers lose the attention to the context you're trying to communicate to them. They are not going to look at the numbers, but all their eyes is going to be taken up by the orange. All their eyes is going to be taken up by the green. Then we declined and said, our principle now to create a background. We are going to go with this, which we created last time. We are going to look at what we had put together. Then why did we use a gray behind? To make sure that we create that contrast such that our shapes are off the background. These were shapes we input last time. Then we did export this and took it to Power BI. So when I look at Power BI, this is exactly what we exported. In case there is anyone who feels like, how did we come to this stage? Please, this is the point where you replicate what you have been planning. So looking at what we already have here is, we want revenue, we want profits, we want orders, we want the quantity sold, we want the profit margin, we want the average order value. But the way how we put them right, they may not look like this, but at least we shall replicate this because it communicates exactly what we need the users to look at. If someone comes on my dashboard, should see that this is the revenue, this is the profit. And on top of that, I'm not just giving them the number, I'm giving them what level we have gone year to date, what we have month to date, and even the growth year on year, month on month. But not everything is required. That's what I was talking about. Still, this is clutter. So we shall not go with everything that is here, but you show the important metrics, that the objective of the analysis you have done. Then the second block, we are going to have comparisons. You have a pie chart. This is revenue by sales territory. We have this, we have that. Then at the bottom, we have like details, which we are going to look at how do we come up with them. Then on top of that, you can create different pages. Now, this was the executive overview. Then here you're breaking down everything by product. By brand, this is top 5 products, bottom 5 products by margin. Here, product revenue and profit trends, customer performance. Then here you come and break down by sales or geography, territory, and name them. Such that we would have cluttered all this on one page, but we are giving the users to make sure that it is upon them. If they want to look at the breakdown by product, have that. Breakdown by territory, have that. An executive is where someone should reach and see all the numbers at once. So that's what we are going to go through now. The major thing is to show you some of the touch points, how you configure something to come out like how you look at it here. Enough white space and colors that are not attracting attention. for nothing. The attention we need is the context itself. Okay, now let's drop back to our Power BI. But also remember, we had requested for a guide here, which we shall be using. In the learning process, this guide will help you, like, the executive report, this is what I'm doing. This is what I'm going with. Page 2, this is what we shall have. Then the scorecards, this is how you're going to do it. So that is exactly how we are going to run it. So here they are telling us, create a visual, a new card. On call out, that's where you're going to put the KPI. Then after that, you put everything under reference labels. Then you bring the conditional color corresponding to the KPI color measure. So that is exactly what we have done here, but I'm going to repeat this. So I'm going to do one, how we had done it before. Then, so I want to delete this. I will remove. So the delete button on your keyboard should be able to remove this. Then I want to show you how we came up with this. First of all, you pick the new card. So the new card, whenever you hover your cursor, it will read for you, because sometimes they become very many. You become very tired at looking at what you're looking for, but it is very easy for you to hover over. Then you get the card. Now our card is here. So the moment I click on that, this is the card. Don't mind on how it appears at the first glance. Our purpose now is to have what we need together. So we said you bring the KPI, because I want you to use this. I shared this with you, and even I uploaded it on the portal. So they are telling you, put this on the visual card, then you go to the call out value. Now, it is when you click on the value, when you click on the visual you have brought, you should be able to get the option of format here. If you don't have it, then look for it here on the side, which means it is not selected. So when I select format, it should bring the format that is for this visual that I'm clicking on. Now, this visual I'm supposed to put it somewhere, but for now, let me first work from anywhere. I can move it when I'm done. So here, what are they giving us? They are giving us the size. They are giving us the size because we haven't put anything else. So we're only looking at the size. So for you to get other format features, you're supposed to bring the KPI and put it on value. Now, what is our KPI? Our KPI is revenue. You remember now we have a lot of measures. It becomes hard for you to scroll one by one. So what do we do here? You just search for revenue like this. The moment you search for revenue, then you look for the revenue you're looking for, which is this here. I'll drag it and drop it under under values. Now, on dropping it under values, what I will not request you to do, like going ahead and dragging profit, obviously it works. Let's say when you say, let me bring profit, and I also put it under here. Yeah, it is going to give you the number, but it will be hard for you to format these to the positions you want. That's why each card will create it separate, right? So we have created our card. Now let's put the reference. So let's put the reference. So we put all the references, these you're seeing here. Or if I go back to this, these are the references they're talking about. All these are references. So let's put the references under reference labels. So when I click under reference labels, this is what I get. Now, my KPI is revenue. Perfect. Now, I have to put the references here. So the first reference I need is year to date. So if I can type revenue and have everything together. So here we are having year to date. Where is year to date? Here, this is it. So I'll drag year to date and bring it here on references. You see it is showing. Then I will bring month to date. Go ahead. There it is. Now, month to date is not going to give you a value right now. If I can expand this, I know you're straining your eyes to understand this. Month to date will not give you a value until the user selects a defined month. Until the user selects some given data from the dates. So you see, if you're looking at the whole data set, month to date will not give you. But if you select like a given period, you get month to date and you get year to date. Now here it speaks to the year that is selected. That is 2023. So we shall look at that later and how you put the filters. Then what else are we bringing on labels? Select this such that you get your view again. We are bringing the growth. That is the growth year on year and the growth month on month. This. But you realize that when I put this growth, they don't give me a percentage, and yet I need it into a percentage. It means that we didn't change this to percentage. So click on that measure, go ahead and click on percentage here. Then if you want to make it 2 decimal place, well and good. If you want to make it 1, well and good. So I will make it 1 here, click out, then go also on the year on year. So anything that is always percentage, make sure that you click on that measure, then go to percentage and click on percentage. It will always change to percentage. That is 14.03. But I need one decimal like this. Now, you realize that now it is becoming so big. It is even hard for us to shrink it to the size we need. What do we do? Now we are going to now play with the formats. First of all, we can change this to be in a raw format and we make them vertical. You come here on reference labels layout. So on reference labels layout, here you see there is all cards. The card we are looking at is revenue card, which is this we are on. So the revenue card. Under revenue card, what is the layout appears when it is all? Sorry for that. The revenue is looking at this, but when I say all, even it looks at the labels. So that's where we have layout. Now layout here, it is now vertical. It is going downwards. So I want to make it horizontal. You see how it appears? And now when you make it horizontal, you can also decide how to map these together. So you see, when I shrink this, still we have another problem that when you shrink this, some of the numbers will disappear. So you go ahead and look out for the number here, the gap paddle shape. So we can reduce this space to reduce the space between like the margins. That is on a paddle, then there is gap. You can also reduce the gap, then you can remove the background by unchecking this. Because remember that these shapes of ours have their own backgrounds. So actually everything we should have done, all the backgrounds should be off. Like all the backgrounds should be off. So we can also go to that, remove background. So when you search for background, all backgrounds that come, remove them because you already have shapes that you're inputting. This close background. So under card, there is also this background. Under multi-card also background, you remove all that background. So actually I'm going to reduce these such that we only remain with year on year, such that is easy for us. Let's remove the year to date and month to date. So that one we find it under labels, right? Here under labels, then revenue. That is label layout. Labels are here. So where are our labels? Labels, apply settings. These are the ones. So I'll remove year to date. I remove month to date, such that I remain with these two. So you see now this. You can also go ahead and edit it. How do you edit it? Here. Since we already know that this is revenue, then we can just leave that as year over year by double clicking here. I think we will rename title here. So you select year on year, then you come on title. This is giving the first name. We want to make it a custom, so we change that. So here it is patience getting these things, but with time it becomes easy. Then when we go to the one for month on month, also you come on title. So here it is picking the first name that is from the measure, so we shall say custom. Then you go ahead and remove that revenue. So you'll see that it remains MO month on month, year on month. So it means now here we are getting it now a bit. So what else do we need is reducing the size of the call out or of this call out value. So we come to call out, here value, you reduce this to around 16. Then what else do we have to look at? The label is fine, you can reduce it. The label is the revenue here. Then you can also always look at what they call padding. So all the paddings, you see this padding is the space between here and at the top, because when you try to shrink it like this, you see it is disappearing. So you can have these paddings to 0, padding to 0, like this, such that you see now it has improved. You see there is an improvement now. So here I'm trying to put my card together. Then we have what else? Also this padding, I'll reduce this to 8. Then all paddings I'll reduce to 8. I think you can see the changes that are appearing here. So in case you don't need this divider, you see now there is that border. You see the borders that are still appearing there. Let me increase this. Then we can look at it well. So you see there are those borders that are gray. If I want to remove all the borders such that it is clear, don't fight with looking for where it is. With time, you'll know where everything is. Just come here. Just come here and type border like this. So every border that comes, you put it to off. You see, that is off. Then there is another border that I'm having missing. Where? So now you see that all borders now are null. Then there is also a divider. If you want, you can remove it, or if you want, you can make it into another color. So you can just search for divider here, and the divider has to come. So you see this is the divider. So you can change this divider into maybe a sharp color. You see that, the gray one, and we see now it looks at least a bit fancy. So it means that if you change this, you get the changes. Now there now after you have changed one of them, the other cards become easy for you to change. So let's say now we shall remove this. Then now this is now our card here. Then you can now copy this and paste, put it here. Now this is going now to be for profit. So which means we are going to change the, first of all, the call out value to profit. So I can click on this, just search for profit. That is another technique of getting it. This is the profit. You click on it, it changes profit. But now the other labels disappear because those labels were not for revenue, right? So which means we have to come to this. or there is still divider here. So these labels disappear because they were not for, they were for revenue. So profit comes with also its own labels. So you look out for profit, those labels, profit. Now we had put only month on month and year on year. We had focused only on growth. This one comes on top. You see that? You can go ahead and do the changes on the headings the way how they appear, but at least a lot of the settings were changed on this. So it means right now, if I say I'm presenting this and I do full screen like this, so you already see the numbers very clearly that if I put even my filters, everything is changing according to how we need it and with ease. So that becomes easy because everything is running with to context to the measures. As I told you last time that we use measures such that we have the filter context. So you can go ahead now and do the same because now when you look at this, this is profit. You can go ahead and do for orders, for quantities sold, and what else do we have here? Profit margin and average orders. So this is exactly what we have done. You see, we have put the reference labels, not all of them, but for us, we have put the year on year and month on month. Then we had conditional colors we had got in our measures. I want to create one for us, such that the remaining cards, I think you'll try to work on them if we don't get time. So let's look at our measures. So in the measures here, when you check very well, there are measures that were giving us the profit color. You see this profit color. Here it is showing us that if the profit, if it is blank, then it gives you that color. We don't know what this color is, but you can always know the color. You can search for this color in the color gradient. It will give you, this is a hex code of a color. So here, if our profit year on over here is greater than, this is 80, that is, no, 8, that is 8. It will give you that color. If it is greater than 0, it will give you that color. If it is equal to 0, then it will give you that color. Then if it is less, it will give you that color, which should be a red. So now we are going to apply this format. I want to show you how we apply this format. And this measure, you don't struggle with it right now. Just understand how the measure is. You see, the measure starts with a switch. A switch is a function that we use to replace things. That where you find Kenneth, put K. Where you find Elizabeth, put E. That's what we do when we are using Power BI. Now, for that case, we are telling it that where you find profit year over year is greater than this, then put this color. So this color, you can take it in the color, the hex code, then you'll know which color is it. Or even you can search for it. You can search for this color, maybe on net. Just come here, then put that hex code like this. Then it will give you the color. It is, where is the color? Here. This is the one we put. It is green. So if you put a hex code, then, which means if we go and bring another color, this, we copy this and put it here and enter, you see it is light green. So if we bring this last one, what is it giving us? You see it is black. Then which one was this? Oh, it is copying everything. I needed to copy this, just this. So you see that is gray. So you can get these hex code colors if you want them, or you can get your own. So if you say, I want to get a red, you can come to these sites. You search for red, let's say red like this, and this is it. And they will give you the hex code is here. So if you take this hex code in your data, then whatever you want to show will show red. Now, how do we use these color codes? Let's first type here color. So we have measures for those colors. We have this one for red. What does it show? Red greater than this should be this, greater than 0 should be this. The one that is equal to 0 should be this. Now let's apply it. When you come to this, to the card, click on the card. Let me increase this for you to see what I'm working on. So click on the card. Look out for format. That's why we keep shrinking this such that you can always get space to work with. Then you come on, you see the call out is here. This is the call out. Then you come and select out revenue because we need revenue, right? So you select out revenue. Then revenue here, it has a value. Now under value, the color of the value here is black. But wherever there is a color, there is always an FX. Now it is under this FX where we put a measure that is supposed to change color, isn't it? So if now this is for value, you can even do for fill the background or anything, but now let's go with the value. So actually, let me increase this value to 24. Yeah. We can leave it to that. Then you come and click on FX. Well, the moment you click on FX, it's going to open this dialog, which is a format color. Now, we are formatting color for this card, looking at the field value, right? The field value is a value of any of the measure we already have. So what measure are we looking for? You type color, all the measures with color will come. And we're looking at that for revenue because we are dealing with revenue here. So I'll click on revenue and do OK. So you see that color becomes green. Now let me gamble here the filter. I see whether we shall get a growth here that is negative. You see whether it will change color. You see now when it becomes a negative, the revenue automatically becomes red because this revenue color is telling us here that the moment this is the else, you see, if revenue year on year is greater than 10, make it that it is that is which means greater than 10%. Which means if it is between 0 and 10, make it that. If it is equal to 0, make it that. Now, if it elsewhere, else, like if it doesn't lie in those, now this is the color, which they are giving us the red here. But you can research on this and do as many examples as you can. You'll always get this right. So which means we can even apply this to this year on year and the month on month. So how you apply that, still you select this. This time, you don't go on the call out, but we go on the labels, right? So when I click on the labels and I select here, which label are we looking at? Okay, here, select the label. Which label are we looking at? Let's look at year on year. So year on year, its value is here. Let me scroll. Let me enlarge this. So its value is here. But remember, it is black, permanently black. But we want to make it dynamic, such that it changes when the percentage changes. So you can always come here and do the FX. Now, if you don't want to make the value, you can always go for the background. Where is the background? So this is value. Just a moment. This is detail. Anyway, it will need us to add another revenue. We had wanted to put a background behind here, but you will try that out. There is background somewhere. Now here we still do FX like this. We say we want to format the style using a field value. Field value because we have a measure, right? Now here we are looking at revenue because put the word color such that all the color come together. So you see this is the color of year-on-year revenue color. Maybe we can go with this, then we shall check what it is. So we click on that and okay. So you see it becomes red, but let's look at what it is. Yeah, it is nearly the same thing that we were given, that the color switch function, if it is true, if it is blank, because we have said if true, then if blank, that is if true blank, go with this color. Then if year on year is greater than 0, then bring this. Now you'll find this is a green. Then if it is equal to 0, bring this. This is a gray. Then the last one is a red, right? Now, which means if we change here, it changes green because it becomes a positive. Like if you change again, it changes that. So that is the instance we use for color coding. So here automatically it tells the users that it has changed red because it is negative. It has changed green because it is positive. So that communication before even they look at the number, the color only tells them that, oh, the growth is gone. We are in negatives for this month. So that's exactly, there is, I had seen a light gray, a light green, because, yeah, this light green, oh, it has disappeared again. Anyway, yeah, the light green is showing because this is between 0 and 10. If you look keenly to this, to revenue color, you see they said when it is greater than 0 but less than 10, this is 10%. This was the color, and we have checked this color. It is light green, so that's why you're getting that. So you can change this color to a blue, to anything, to as long as it is giving out your number. So otherwise, if there is any question on that, please ask. I really want you to go through this such that it gives you a next phase when you're doing your stuff or aligning your dashboard that you have already built. That is on conditional formatting using measures. There are a lot of measures we have here. There is measure for orders. We are going to use it. This is a color where they say orders previous year, you give it a color, then now you start greater than 10. So you find that all these are the same. You just create one, then you keep, what do you change? You change the measure here. This is order previous year because you're looking at year on year, month on month growth. Then you change only these order from revenue to order to profits to this. It is just changing. So you copy the whole measure, copy, then you create a new measure. Then what you change are these just measures. Or you can even ask AI, please change this to replicate for now revenue, for now profits, for now cost. It will change for you and you'll happily use that formatting dynamically when the users are changing the filters. So that being said, let's look at, let's do orders, quantities, profits, and all the other one. So here we are going to copy the same. So, undo. So we are going to copy the same. So you see that when you have already formatted one card, you don't need to redo everything. So the only thing that you only just copy and paste, then you change here. So what am I changing here? Here I'm changing profit to orders. So I'll click on this, then search for order like that. So where are my orders? My orders are here. So I'll drag my orders or click on them because I'd search from there. So you see they are showing 8K. We are going to format that. Then let's put the labels. How do we put the labels? You bring the format. This is the format. Let me first scroll this. I just want to leave it bigger. Then you can look at everything. So yeah, Andrew. Then here we shall bring order year on year and month on month. Andrew, please unmute.
My question is, we've copied the second the second KPI. Now, what if we select the first one? Will that reflection of the color still appear?
It will appear, but you have to change it to, you have to change everything from revenue to order, right?
Yeah.
Let me do that. I think you have got what I'm meaning. Eh? So when
Changing
you
the measure.
yes, you'll change the conditional format that this one, when you go to the call out card here and you go to the value, you'll find at this point there is going to be a measure for revenue. You click here and go ahead and change it, change the value and change this for order. If you created, no. Let me search with color because we have many measures. So you come and look for the color that is talking about orders. Then you click on that, then you okay. You see the green, eh? So it only goes for that. So even if you want to change the wording here, you can go to the label and look out where there is a color for the label this. You can even change this to look at the function, but it will not make sense when everything is green. So you rather leave the labels maybe in their own colors and only change the numbers, right? So anything that has a color, it will always have an FX, and that FX means that you can import a measure that does the color changes, that has the switch, the other switch function. So let's do a quick one here for this. As I had said, all these measures, month on month, are supposed to be put in percentage. I will rush and put them in percentage. Even this, I'll put it in percentage. So for the labels also, you can go ahead. Obviously, now the labels, we are going to change the title, right? When you get confused, because when you expand a lot of formats here, you get confused. Always go back and shrink them, then you look for what you need. Don't get confused. So we are here on labels. We want to change these titles to make them shorter. So when I come under labels, these are the ones, then select a label. So if I come to titles here, it will be grayed out. Why? Because I've not selected a label. So when I select one, then when I come on title, it will be enabled. Now here it is showing field name because it picks the name from the order, from the measure name. So I have to come and say customize. So on customize, they will give me this, then I do what I need, like this. Then, which means if you want to make this label also colored, this is the FX. Now I think you understand that FX is everywhere, but don't overuse it to make again your dashboard like the principles we have just talked about. Leave the labels in gray shades because the labels, after someone has known that is here over here, they will not need to read it again. Their attention is going to be stuck on the numbers. So you always make sure that the labels are gray. Never make them even black. Because when you make it black and bold, it steals the attention which should have gone to the numbers. So I will take this back to gray like that. Okay, you can use a sharp gray such that it doesn't disappear from the background. So when I come now to, because that was on the title, I shrink the title, I'm done with that. Then select month on month, also do the same here, custom, then change this like this. So you see now this is short for someone to look at and they easily know that, okay, it is month on month for the orders, right? Now, when you want to change all your cards at once and you have reached this part, now the moment I select this, you'll see that this doesn't change because I don't want to change the clicks and all that. It doesn't change now. I just start from there. You get? So you can always put all your cards and do everything at once, such that when I'm formatting with color condition, I format for all, such that I don't keep flipping on and off. So I will go ahead and come to title, then custom, then change this like this. Then Go back here, on here, come here, custom, then change that. You get? Boom. So what else do we have? We don't need these orders to be put into this compaction. So what we do, we are going to click on these orders. First shrink everything, we go back to normal. This one is under call out. This is a call out. Then here is it is selecting all cards. When you have selected all cards, it means if there were many cards, but we need to select the card we're looking at. That is the order. Then it will give us the value details. Last time I told you that you will not get this display units to change it to none or to trillion or to millions as long as this is still on all. The moment it's still on all, you come on values, that option will disappear and you'll spend a lot of time looking for it. And you'll see, you'll watch the video and the video has it. And you ask yourself, what did Sabit do different? It is this. You have to select the card you're on. The moment you select orders, then this will appear. Come and bring this to none. Now it appears like that, and yet we need this to be having a comma. So look out for that value. It is here checked, orders, then you come and give it a comma here, right? Boom, that is it. Now our card is so big that we can increase this. You can come and increase here. You can even put it to 24 like this. Boom, right? So you can even work on the other one the same way. Even when you don't want your profit to be in that way, you can also change it. Okay. I think now the others, you'll create them just to make sure that I touch other things now. Now, there is where we bring images. There is, we need to export icons to make sure that our dashboard reflects exactly what we are talking about. So where do we get icons? So you'll always come to this, what they call, there is free icons. You can always come here and let me show you the best, which is always flat icons. So you can always come to flat icons or icon 8, whichever. So you can use any. So when you go to flat icons, type their revenue like this. Then it will generate. It wants me to sign in. And don't use colorful. If you want to use color, it's okay. But I'll always want to use like a gray shades, the gray ones. So I will take this. So the moment I click on it, take PNG. PNG doesn't have a background. So I'll take PNG. Yes, free download. I don't have money to buy. So I'll log in such that they don't block me again. So for you to be allowed, I'll put it in downloads. For you to be allowed to download others, I'll show you. Now let's go to profit. They give us something profit, what can speak to profit. Can take something like this. Yes, we can take something like this. So that is, you do PNG, you do free. But when you do free, there is something that appears here. This always, okay, this was profit. So when you save that, always come and copy link. Just you copy link, such that this thing should be happy, such that it allows you to continue doing other free stuff. Then here, orders. While I'm putting those keywords, it will always bring an icon that replicates what exactly you are on. So orders, I download that PNG free. You copy that just to make sure that I'm not checked out. This is orders. Then go ahead and okay. Now let's take those three. Those three are enough. Let's go back to our Power BI here. Now here, how do we bring the images? We always go for, sorry for that. How do we bring the images? We always go for insert. And insert, there is image here. this, you see this, so we shall always use this. So insert image, so you see this is the image. So now, how do you insert an image? In other words, how do you link it to this? You come to format. When this is open, you go to action, no, not action. Here on image, then you see upload, then browse. So I'll come and browse from here. Then look for my revenue. Actually, I'm supposed to bring all of them. So this is it. So you can go ahead and change its size like that. Then you're able to, you can even change the size from here. You can also change the size from here. If I click on, yeah, you can also change the shape, you change the border, if there's a border, everything is ticked off. Then let's say we stretch it, fill it, no. So filling it, then we can reduce it the more. Okay, undo. So we can put it there, right? But only that I think we shall leave it on fit, such that here it fits. So that is for that. So if I copy paste this, because I don't want to start afresh, just come here and upload again. You see this, I remove this, I upload again. Now I'm bringing for profit. Profit is already there. Then copy paste. So that's why I was telling you that you don't have to struggle creating, bringing things and editing each independent. Edit one, use it to bring others. Like how we did for the card. I'm doing the same for images. I've edited it, I've shrunk it to the size I need. Then I'm using it to pick other images, which is order, right? The order has come. So I'll drag this here in the corner. You see that flashing in red, it shows me the way how I'm putting it in line with the other one, which I want. Then also this, I will have to wait for that flashing in red, then, this is it. So when I increase this, just to have a feel of it, so you see what we have come up with. Very nice. Pictures showing what it is. And if even you want these pictures to show, we shall look at that as bookmarks. If you want someone to click on those pictures to show details, we shall look at that. Or if you want them to hover and something should drop, we shall look at that. But right now, here we go. So obviously I will share with you this file. I will want you maybe to start from where we have stopped. You create, you come and create this. But if we have time, then we shall. Now let's go to the charts themselves. I also want to show you some of the techniques we use in editing them. So here we are. Now here we are bringing, now these are bar charts. You're going to bring a bar chart and give it, obviously we asked for guide here. You should use the guide. So the guide here we have is this: on executive, bring revenue, pick a donut chart. No, this is not a donut. For this is revenue by sales. Oh, we are on territory. Okay, this is it. So here they are telling us pick a donut chart, go to dim city, bring sales territory under legend, bring revenue under values, then sort revenue descending. Period. Done. So let's do that. So here they are telling us to pick a donut chart, which is this. So the moment we get a donut chart, here we go. Now, a donut chart, we are going to pick, come to data. Let's shrink this format again somehow. Now they are telling us on legend. On legend, we are putting city, territory from dim city. So where is territory? Sales territory, this, from dim city. Yes, sales territory, this. From dim city, drag it and put it under legend. Then the values, we are putting revenue. So you'll search for revenue here. That is revenue. This, drag it and put it here. So you get what we have. Though it is showing one territory, it means that there is a filter somewhere. I don't know whether it is by... Oh, there may be a filter on this page. But there is no filter. Anyway, this is supposed to break down. Though it is showing only Fair West. Do we have only one sales territory? If we can go back to our data and we go to Dim City. Yeah, I see we have only one sales territory. We can check from transform data. Remember our distribution where we check how many options we have. So under Dim City, you come and look out for the sales territory. Actually, it is one. So we can do with city, I think. We can go with city, but city, there are very many. So we can go with province. So here we shall go with province. So here we shall change this to province this. Yeah, province gives us at least something. So you can always change those values. Like I told you, if California, you have been doing it as blue, then let it be blue. If you want to use a shade, or let it be a shade. So when you come on formatting, there is legends here. No, there is slices here where the colors, these are the colors. So if you check California, you see it is blue. If you check Washington, it is that. If you check, so the color you have been running with, that's what you should run with going forward. Shouldn't change it. Then for borders, none, no border. Then detail labels, if you want to remove these labels, you can always switch them off here. But we may need them. Then what else do you find on here is maybe increasing the position of the legend. This is legend. If you want to put it at the bottom right, name them. But when we look at our graph, you see it has color behind. It has background color. So we have to remove all that such that it takes the color of the card or the background. So I'll come to that. Don't hassle yourself. Come and type here background. Everything that is checked, check it off. Oh no, this is title. Anything that is background, actually, not background. There is no background here. Background is here. It is off. Background here. It's off. So background is off, which means if I move it, you see it is colorless. So it means it fits there. Then border, you do the same. So border like this. So you can remove all the borders. Oh, we removed that title. I think the title has disappeared. Let's search for title again. We need this title on. Yes, we need that title on. Now, there is something I want to show you, that even a title, you can have a conditional formatting title. You can create condition measures that read maybe the highest. Then your title reads like revenue by sales with maybe California highest at 44 point this. It can be dynamic that every time they change any filter, the title changes depending on how you wanted it to look like. Those are the insights I was talking about. So you can create measures of that kind, but I think we shall do that in our final project. Then the colors here, the text color, you can change. Also, you can use the condition, the background, we have already put it off and all that. So that is a pie chart. Then let's go for the bar. So the bar, I will pick this, put it here. If I want the other conditions to run with what I have been doing, like removing background and all that, just copy this pie chart, copy paste, put it here, right? Then just change it to chart by clicking on chart like this. You see, it changes to chart and even give you this format of data in bar format. But remember now, what they have told us to have here is top 5 products by revenue. So which means here we are going to have top 5 products by revenue. It means that this changes to products. So we shall come here, products, and you look out for products. No, we have to go to the products, that is stock. Then what was the name? The name was stock item name. I think was, no. What was the name? Let's look at the guide here they used. Obviously, they used the stock item. So that's what we are using, though it is having large naming. Yes, Andrew?
Yeah, I have a question on the donut chart that you've shared. If I want to change the format of having a blue on the left and then I turn it on the right, or if we have a bar chart having starting from the list to the max, how can I change from the max to the list? Can I do it?
Yes, it is feasible. You come here on these 3 dots, you look for you look for sort by. You see this sort by? Then now it is being sort by descending. It means they are starting with big to small. Then you can change this. We sort it by ascending. You see it changes. It puts what you have said. Even the same thing with a bar chart like this. You can always come here and say sort by descending or ascending, right? It is feasible. Now let's do top 5 because here they want us top 5, top 5 products. So we are going to look where we do top 5. Top 5 is always on filter. So you'll always come here and expand now the filter. This time we need the filter. Now you go, what are we doing top 5? We are doing revenue top 5. So actually we are doing stock items, the top 5. So we shall come on stock items. You come on filter type. There is basic, obviously, because you select one by one. You check on that and go to top N. Now this top N works for both bottom and top. So I will come here on top N. Then here they are asking, do you need it from top or from bottom? I need from top. How many do you need at the top? I need 5. And you need 5, yes, well and good, you have put that. What should we depend on to give you the top 5? You'll come and select here, now the measure you need to depend on. You may do top 5 by profit, yet here you have done revenue. You may do top 5 in orders, yet here it is giving the number of revenue. But still here we are going to keep the same thing by revenue. So you look out that revenue, you bring it there. Then after that, you apply. You get. You see what has happened? It has given us the top 5 items by revenue. That even if I change these items will change, but they will always remain top 5. You see they are changing, but they will always remain top 5. You see that? So that is top 5. Now, you can always come now and change the heading. So the filter is done, shrink it. Anything that is always done, remove it from your face. Shrink it, don't cancel it. So what we need now is formatting. We need to go to the title and change this title. And we say, these are top 5 stock items by revenue, like this. And boom, you go ahead and do that. So if you want to make it conditional, still the condition is there. You see this fx. you can do anything by condition. That if you have a measure that gives you the heading depending on how you need it, like I want they put for me top 5 stock item, this being the highest with this value, it can always be done. So also you can always put like a subtitle which is this. It's so in a subtitle, that's where you can go and put the function such that it gives you the top 5, maybe the topmost SKU, and it puts it here. But now I don't need the subtitle. So even in the subtitle, you can put your own explanation. But right now I don't need it. Gone. So you'll find that this one I've done it with ease because I'm no longer going to format, because I did the format with one of them. So the same thing, it becomes easy now for me to copy, paste, to have this like this. Now let me look at colors, whether we created any color that depends on that. Month on month, product. No. All this. Now, there is even when you create colors, for the top to be green, the bottom to be red, others remain gray. You can also do it in that same way. You know, in this age, you don't have to struggle a lot. Like people who started with using Power BI struggled a lot. But right now, you have AI that should ease your reading. Just it is a matter of taking this measure. Where is the measure for orders? This where it was revenue. So I can do revenue like this. Now, it's a matter of, wait a minute, my screen is freezing. Okay. It is a matter of taking this measure and taking a screenshot of this, put it in AI and tell it that I'm doing top 5. So I want the topmost to be green, then the number 5 to be red, the remaining should be gray. You get? It will give you, let's do it. Copy this. Let me open my AI here. Then I look out for that. I'm going to show it on screen, just a moment. So we shall come to this we have been working with now. Let me open a new one. Let me open a new one. I'll come to this and paste that there. Then come here. Screenshot this. Take it now the other side of the AI, this. Then I come here, I give it a command. You may not start your developer this, because that we did it when we were doing a lot. Here you're going to say, attached is a visual showing top 5. I need the one ranking number 1 to be green, and number 5 #5 to be red. Then the remaining should be gray. I use the reference. Now our reference, we are only going to use revenue. So we are not using year over year. We are only going to use revenue. And also here we are using revenue. Actually, let me remove this. So we're only using revenue. Why this one? We are just giving a reference. Even if you don't put this, actually, let's not put even this. We shall say use the switch function to create a conditional format measure to apply the above. Just with ease. So we are asking it a measure. Return a measure, or you can put it in brackets, ducks, to make sure that it doesn't do an explanation. So here we go. And it is going to take a short time. So here, this is what they're giving us. Now let's look into this measure. I will briefly explain for you. Now here it is going for top 5 ranking color. It is creating a variable. You know, when you create a variable and you say, put those 5 buckets in the house, and we shall be putting there things that we have cleaned. Those are variables. Buckets are variables. Now they are creating a variable, and now they are first calculating the rank X. Rank X is ranking from number 1 to 5, number 1 to 100. That rank X, but first look at all the product stock items, right? But I think this name we shall have to change it to replicate our data. Then get their revenue, put it in a descending order. The dense is to make sure that the descending is from top to bottom. Then return, now a switch if it is true. Rank 1, green. You see when they have given you the explanation, the description. The rank 5 is this, red. I showed you this was red. Then rank 2, 3, and 4 is gray. Then anything else, I don't know this color is. Let's copy this, go. We go to our Power BI, we right click on this and create a new measure. And we go and paste that there. Don't mind it is creating a lot of spaces. What I told you is this. We need to change this to look at our stock item. So our stock item, our stock item here was what? So if we type stock item, so dim stock item, this is the name. It is dim stock item, not product. It's that. So you see now it is picking. So you can go ahead and reduce this. Obviously there are spaces, but making sure that you don't change the syntax. So here it says can't find that. Now we can go ahead and commit. So it has created our top 5 rank color, which is already here. Now let's commit and exit this. We go and apply our color. So you can even reuse now this by changing now here, you change maybe customers, but the color remains the same. So now we come to this, we go to our bars. Where are our bars? The bars are here. You see where the bars are? So you click on the bars. You see the bars, all of them are green, but this time we want to give them a new function. So you go to function, you say this time I want to use a field value, which is a DAX. Then you just type here rank. No. What did we call it? We called it top 5 rank. Okay. Rank. So we need to look for it is here. So the moment I click on that, I do okay. And here we go. Very beautiful. So every time we change this, the top will always remain green and the others are gray. Very beautiful and easy for you to push your narrative that the green is better, the red is the 5th one. Or you can even leave all this gray because even the 5th one out of 20 shouldn't be red. So I think that gives you a narrative on how we use conditional formatting for that. So I know our time is flashing out, but obviously we feel like this call should have extended, but our time is flashing out. So you can create this. What I need now to create for you is I want to create for you, we want to create other pages. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to duplicate this. Now the beauty with creating other pages, always start with one page, then you duplicate into others. So which means I will create a duplicate, and I can say now this, I call it product breakdown. Let me call it product such that then this one call it, what do we have? We have territory, like this. So now we have 3 pages, but all of them are having the same details. But what am I focusing at is creating a navigation here. So how do we create a navigation? Very easy. Go to insert, go to buttons, look out for page navigations. Navigator, then this is page navigator. Click on it, it will come here. It picks the page names the way how they are, right? So what do I need to do? When you go to products, the page navigator is not there at the moment. So I have to reformat it very well from here such that I shift it to the other side when it is already reformatted. So when I click on page navigator, it will always also come with its format, right? So if I can increase its format. Now the format we start with layout. Layout, it is horizontal, we want it vertical. Then you come and increase here like this. You see, this is vertical now. Obviously, you make them not so big. Then that one is done. What else do we need? Pages. It will always, we are not, here they're saying show hidden pages. I will show you what it means, but you leave it like that. Then the style, here you can select the style. When someone hovers, what should happen? When someone presses it, what should happen? When someone has selected it, what should happen? Such that for you it is easy to know which page you're on. Like now we know we are on overview, but if I copy this, and took it to products, you see it automatically selects product because we are on products. So that is a setting you put, but by default they give you that. So let's first look at those settings. I will delete this, then we do from here, then we shall copy at once. So I will increase this such that be quick. Now, on style, here we are saying, okay, when we hover, hovering is passing your cursor. You see when I hover, it shows gray. It shows you that you have hovered on a button which can be clickable. It shows gray. Yes? Okay, fine, you're a good boy. Close my door. So here, sorry for that. Here now on hover, you can even determine what text should be when I hover. Sometimes you have hovered on buttons and you see the text moving on the right or on the left. You can also do it here, such that if I click here on the right, on the left, such that when I hover, you see the text goes on the left. You see that? All that it is you who does it, right? So there is also the alignment. If you say this, when you hover, it moves on the top. You see this? You see that? You see that? So let's keep all this by default. Now, we can increase maybe the font is that. Here the fill, it is a gray. We are still on hovering. It is gray. If you made it like blue, it means when you hover, it becomes blue. You see that? So we can keep it gray. Remember we said no shouting. That is too much. We had this, I think. Yes. So you can go ahead and check all that. Now the borders also, you can see whether you need the borders or you don't need them. Then if you want to change default things, first leave it at default. then you change things that should appear for all. So like buttons or the size, those all are default. So if I come on text, I first leave it on default, maybe increase the text maybe to 16, right? You see the text increases to 16. Then maybe we make it bold, something like that. You can say now let's go on borders. Maybe we don't need borders, and you check off the borders are gone. You see that? But when they go, shall we know which page is which? So you may say that I need those borders, but I will need to reduce their color like this, or make them transparent and name them. Now, after you have done default, now you can say, you can come now, the selected one should appear how? Now the selected one, you see its fill is already black. You see this black. If I change it to, let's say red, you see, that is what is selected. So I just need it to leave it at black like that. But you see its size is reduced because here, this one is that. So you may say that the selected one should be maybe 24. You see, it runs with that, such that the other ones that are not selected are that level. So when you're done with all that, then we can always go ahead now and copy this navigator like this, and copy and put it on all the pages. Without clicking, the moment you paste, it pastes in the same position as how the other one is. Even this, it pastes in the same position as how the other one is. Why do you do that? Such that when the user is clicking, they shouldn't see this navigation moving left, right, left, because you put it on different positions. Now, you know when you want to click a button in Power BI desktop, you press a control, then you click. So if I click on products, you see I go to products. If I click on overview, I go to overview. If I click on territory, I go back to territory like that, right? So which means this one you can now rename this as sales performance overview like this. This I can do. This is overview like this. Then, which means I can go now to this and rename it as product performance like that. Then I can go to this and name it as territory performance. Remove dashboard. Everyone knows it is a dashboard. So right now, if I put this to maximum and remove this and remove this, it means that if I press my control, if I click on overview, we got overview page. If I click on products, we got products. If I click on territory, we go to territory. So which means the main instance here, products, everything will remain the same, but here you change this now to products, which means you change this revenue by product, which means here I will bring the stock. We'll bring the stock. Where is the stock item? This. Whoa! So a stock item can't be pie chart. So you'll automatically change this to that. And on top of that, you'll make it top 5. Obviously, it doesn't give sense, but you look out for what it is this side to give. So doing reference from on what we have on under products. So you see they did by brand. Here product by top 5 products by quantity, products by margin. This is bottom, and you see everything has been done red. It picks that the color triggers the user that this is the worst. So with that being said, I need questions. I need